Hey everyone, welcome to Tour Validated. My name is DJ Lantz, joined by Kris McCormack and Senior Director of Design, Scott Manwaring here at Callaway Golf. We're going to talk about Paradym Irons and Hybrids. Scott, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
So excited to be here. We've got some great looking new products in hand here, and I really want to dive into this Paradym iron. So we've got Paradym X, Paradym, would you say that core iron?
Paradym, let's call it Paradym main iron, the up the gut distance irons that we're really pushing. This will be our champion, and this will be kind of the stronger loft package.
Okay, so let's kind of dive in under the hood. What kind of innovation has gone into designing this iron compared to what we've seen with Rogue?
Yeah, and there's really, if you're gonna throw out the name Paradym, there's really two things you need to change. You know, the first thing you need to change is the shape. You need to come out and really go back and take a hard look at everything that had kind of been the Callaway style iron and say, hey, how can we do better? How can we do better with our offsets? How can we do better with our hosel transition? How can we do better with our sole camber? How can we do better with our bounces? What additional stylized features can we really focus on to kick it up to that next level? Nice. And then you got to look at the performance aspect too. Sure. So, you know, there's some things that we've really learned over the years working. You know, we've been in high COR space for what, 7-8 years now. So both in the sound and in the performance. So to change Paradym, you got to go both avenues: the look and the performance.
So with what I'm looking at here, I mean, it's a great looking iron. Now, diving under the hood, what kind of tech would we expect to see in this new iron design?
Yeah, so for starters, it's a 455 face, so that's a high strength face here. It's a face cup, and what we're looking at here is, you know, let's pick up some ball speed. You know, that's a standard demand here. More
Sure.
ball speed, more distance. That's just kind of
Gotta be faster.
Gotta be faster to compete. You know, on the launch monitors, it's such a key component of fitting. But the other thing we're looking at is, hey, how can we change the body? With that much energy going into the face cup, your body sees a lot more stress. You know, if you let all that stress just go flying past it and it doesn't enter into the ball, then you don't get the ball speed. So we really wanted, and one of the key elements here is you can see it there. There's these windows portings going on here. You know, they're holes, they're windows. And what we did is, as we looked at the ball speed, the sound, the performance, we individually designed each of these little holes right here to lower the CG. Now, the Achilles heel of a hollow body iron is you get all this metal trapped up in here.
Sure.
It just pulls the CG up the face, and that thin to wind shot doesn't perform as well. And
right.
That's one of the key things that we were looking after here. So, you know, individually stylized this, and then obviously, you know, the tungsten. Tungsten, I heard a really great kind of simpleton definition of it. It acts as like a magnet. It pulls the CG to the location where it's at. And you know, you want your CG low and toward there, thin to wind, no hosel shank. So there's a big old massive chunk of tungsten down in this area. So there's a lot of performance baked in there.
A lot of times with a distance iron or a more game improvement iron, you're looking at ball speed, but a lot of times spin is always that issue. Controlling that spin really helps with downrange dispersion and right to left dispersion. So talk a little bit about how important that was with this iron versus previous.
Yeah, that was one of the key objectives, is like we need to, and this could be the overarching theme as we move into discussing the hybrids, the overarching theme that we're really trying to get rid of is, let's get rid of those flyers off of clean lies. You're still gonna have flyers out of the rough from time to time, but those should be driven by where your ball's sitting in the grass and your ability to read those.
Right.
Not from a clean lie where you catch it a little bit higher on the face and you get this flyer effect. There's some cool stuff here. Hope everybody appreciates the little pre-worn feature that we put in here. It looks sexy.
I see that.
Yeah, and it
Nice
cuts through the turf extremely well. We were authentic in placing that tungsten out on the toe, and there's a massive amount behind there, and it's just an overall really sexy package.
Yeah, I did notice that nice little bevel right there.
Yeah, that pre-worn leading edge is nice.
Yeah, when you press your
Class.
hands forward there, you get to set it down a little lower to the turf there and really clean up the turf interaction.
Well, I love it. Well, let's talk a little bit of hybrids now.
So looking, same kind of thing as what we have going on in the iron family.
Yes, sir.
We've got, I'm assuming, in the X, a little bit more draw bias to it.
A little more volume, not so
Okay.
much draw bias. There is a touch more draw bias, but we're really looking at having volume play here. And there's some other features that are important. If you look at the face of Paradym, the mainline one, you'll notice that it doesn't have a score line sitting in this upper section.
Yeah.
Now that's feedbacks from Xander Schauffele, and when we developed the Apex UW, when they like to have a cleaner face there, it helped them set up more square. So you'll notice a really clear harkening back to its predecessor in the Apex UW. You'll notice that it takes the Rogue ST shape. The other awesome thing about this is just the MOI. We packed a lot more MOI in here for spin stability. We're really chasing spin stability here and really want it. It's got the 455. And the last thing I do want to mention, a lot of work going into that cut wave sole.
I was going to ask about that. The design on that sole, very unique from what we've seen in the past.
Callaway, we don't have a lot of issues with how the sole address of the club, how it sits down, but we wanted to do better. We, change a paradigm here, pushing ourselves harder and pushing ourselves further. So we really wanted to bring this ID to life here and to show off that, hey, when you're in the rough, this is going to get through clean. It's going to get through extremely well. When you're on a tight lie, this is going to sit low. That's why this tungsten sits exterior here. Pull that CG all the way down. We have a new batwing technology. It really is to balance out the stress between the heel and toe. And again, this is for overall ball speed performance and spins performance. The speed, the spins are extremely consistent on these, so much tighter than previous generations.
Nice. And notice, adjustability is back.
Adjustability needs to be there. We love it. You can, if you have an 7 or an 8 hybrid, you can go up as high as like 30 degrees. So there's plenty of room up there.
If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like the video. Scott, thanks for the time. Thanks for explaining what we have going on here, and thanks again for all your hard work.
Absolute pleasure, guys.